Hi, and welcome to the 2020 Shakespeare Film Festival, the category of Best Interpretation of a Shakespeare passage. I'm Rebecca Dobbs. I'm an award-winning producer-director of cinema and film. I work in documentaries, dramas, experimental films, and I work through a company which we run called Maya Vision International. I'm also a trustee of the Shakespeare Birthplace Trust down in Stratford-upon-Avon. So I'm wearing two hats and really enjoying the fact that I'm bringing both of these things together today. I've made about a dozen films on Shakespeare and his life, his family, his works, and they've been seen all around the world. So I was very, very pleased to be asked to put together this panel to judge this year's entries into Best Interpretation of a Shakespeare passage. And I'm really grateful to the three people who've joined me on the panel. They've given their time, they've viewed all of the films. We've spent several Zoom meetings discussing them quite passionately. My only regret is that we couldn't do it in a large room with a big screen and be all together. But Zoom is what we have to use in these rather strange times. But thank you so much to the panel. You've been fantastic. Let me go straight to them so that they can introduce themselves. Over to you, Alex.
Hello, my name is Alexander Nikolic. I'm a director, producer, and editor who works both in documentaries and in fiction. I have made two feature-length documentaries which have screened all over the world, and over the last 15 years or so, I have edited more than 30 documentaries for the BBC, Channel 4, and PBS.
Great. Let's go to Mina next.
Hi, my name's Mina Wood. I'm a development producer for Maya Vision International. I also studied English literature at university, so I'm very excited to be here thinking about Shakespearean texts again.
And our last panelist is Sheila.
My name's Sheila Marshall. I am an award-winning producer-director, and before that I'd been working in film and television for nearly 20 years actually, so across film, comedy, documentary and drama. And when I was a wee lass, I worked on one of Maya Vision International's Shakespeare documentaries, and so it's kind of great to be here on panel to judge this competition.
Yeah, fantastic. I'd forgotten the point of the full circle, Sheila. That's fantastic. Anyway, it's been a real pleasure, I think. I can speak for all of us to say it's been a real pleasure viewing these films. They've been of a high standard and a really wide range of interpretations and types of films, from the well-crafted monologue to the very creative reimagining of a scene or even a whole play. Before we get on to the top three, I'd just like to do an honourable mention to two films, one on King Lear and one on Romeo and Juliet. We thought they were great films and the filmmaking prowess was obvious. But they didn't get into the top three because we felt that the Shakespeare was slightly secondary to the filmmaking. But nevertheless, we would really like to commend them for witty, brilliant interpretations. Therefore, I think what we need to do now is to tell you who got into the top three. And in reverse order, we're going to talk to you about them. So let me go to Mina to talk about the film that came number three.
Thanks. Yes, in third place, we have chosen Edgar, which was directed by Luke Martin from the UK. This piece intercut moments from two scenes from King Lear, Act 2, Scene 1, and Edgar's famous monologue from Act 2, Scene 2. We all thought this was a captivating piece with great pacing, powerful use of music, and an excellent central performance. Despite combining two different scenes, this piece felt very cohesive, and the director really succeeded in his aim to bring cinematic sensibilities to the soliloquy.
But where is he?
Look, sir. I bleed.
Where's the villain, Edmund?
Fled this way, sir. Which by no means...
By no means what?
Persuade me. To the murder of your lordship. Seeing how loathly opposite I stood to his unnatural purpose. Full suddenly he fled.
Let him fly far. Not in this land shall he remain uncaught and found dispatched.
Thanks, Mina. Now can we go to Alex to tell us about the film that came in second?
Okay, in the second place is Hermione by Bella Melino from Australia. The film is inspired by the statue scene in the Winter's Tale. And we were really drawn to this piece because it tells its story in a very visual way, which is pure cinema. It's also very poetic. And the film does not use many words to tell its story. So it leaves the audience with the opportunity to really think about what they're seeing and to impose their own layers of meaning on the story, which again, I think is what cinema is really all about. So we were really impressed by this little piece.
Thanks, Alex. And now with a drum roll, if we had one, let's find out what came first, and over to Sheila.
So in first place, we have a film that we thought was bold, ambitious and original. We felt the performances were confident and nuanced. We thought it was beautifully directed and has a creative and fitting soundtrack. So overall, it's a captivating interpretation that puts Shakespeare at the fore. But it's also a very strong piece of filmmaking. And it's Heaven Knows I'm Miserable Now, Horatio.
For us and for your tragedy, here stooping to your clemency, we beg your hearing patiently.
Is this a prologue or a posy of a ring?
'Tis brief, my lord.
As woman's love. Fate must
So those are the top three, but we'd like to just say thank you to everybody who made films, sent in the really helpful notes that went with them. As I said at the beginning, it was a real pleasure to judge these films, and I hope that everybody involved in the Shakespeare Film Festival continues to make films, continues to think about Shakespeare, because we absolutely need more energy, continuing energy in the area of arts and humanities, and Shakespeare is the character and the playwright who can speak to us all. So thank you very much and well done.